Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Transportation Policy Board meeting for today, Tuesday, October 14th. So first we have the approval of the TPB agenda for today, October 14th, 2025. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda for today. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Next, we have the approval of the TPB meeting minutes from September 9th, 2025. If everybody's had a chance to look over those.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second by Nick Engel. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All right, thank you. Next, we have item C, Director's Report. Chad.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, members of the Transportation Policy Body. Apologize for the parking. Parking was full, I heard, and staff is finding out whether tickets can be validated. Yes, so. No. Okay. So, what'd you find?
The planning.
Okay, so there's a next door on the left side, not the WAMPO office side, the planning, Metropolitan Planning side, and at the front desk there will be stamping, the one we got the parking, so that will take care of that.
I feel like the county needs to put more parking out there.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. So as all MPOs do, there are three documents that are primarily important, and staff diligently works on those three documents, and they are Metropolitan Transportation Plan that was approved on May 2025, and then there's a couple more documents we will hear today. That's Unified Planning Work Program that simply has a list of activities that are planned in 2026. So that you will hear today. And then also there's a tip you heard many times, Transportation Improvement Program, which documents the committed projects for next 4 years. So these two items you will hear today, primarily related to action items. Most of the federal dollars that come to the region, they are always approved by you. Your leadership is the primary reason why the final approval of federal dollars take place. And any changes in those federal dollars are reflected in TIP amendments. And today is one of those action items that we have. Just to update you, what MPO functions are and what type of documents MPO usually handles and so on. So we have staff to report to you a few items and status on some of the activities, and starting with Marky. Marky, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Great to see a pretty full table this afternoon. And I will do my best not to drone on too long because I am going to be covering quite a few topics. Please stop me if I go too fast or zone me out if it gets too long. Okay, following up on what Chad said, one of our core documents is our Unified Planning Work Program. This is the document that describes the planning activities that WAMPO staff and consultants are going to undertake throughout the calendar year. And so we do a quarterly update with our UPWP task chart. This should look familiar. It is in the packet on pages 9 and 10. I won't read through each of the topics, but this just says the progress of all of our priority projects that were identified in the 2025 Unified Planning Work Program. And then we also have linked in the packet our quarterly activity report, and that is submitted to KDOT along with our request for reimbursement package. So some of the priority projects, just to briefly note on that, we had MTP 2050 development and implementation, safety initiatives and activities, our annual single audit, the regional active transportation plan development, regional transit implementation plan, safe routes to school plan development, Title VI program manual and limited English proficiency plan updates, administration of the federal fiscal year 2025 through 2028 Transportation Improvement Program, the travel demand model update, and then the Regional Intelligent Transportation Systems or ITS architecture update, and lastly, the household travel survey. please feel free to take a look at more of the status of all of these projects in the packet, or if you have any questions, let us know. And then another update related to the Unified Planning Work Program. The 2025 Unified Planning Work Program Draft Amendment 2 is currently in a public comment period from October 10th through October 24th. These updates and amendments are needed to adjust programmed amounts to better align with anticipated and current work. So the proposed Amendment 2 would adjust allocations between staff tasks, decrease overall operating and consultant-supported project expenditures, and account for the removal of a subtask to purchase data. More details on this will be given before it is brought to you for approval. And then we also have our draft 2026 Unified Planning Work Program, which is for next year. And that had a public comment period from September 12th through October 12th. No comments were received. And then both of those documents will be brought to the TAC for a recommendation on the 27th, and then back to this body for approval on November 18th. And then another quick update, we have a draft of our 2026 meeting schedule. This does follow the same pattern. For example, TPB meeting on the second Tuesday of the month at 3 p.m. The one exception is that the Technical Advisory Committee in May would be held 1 week early so that it does not conflict with Memorial Day. And then the January PPP meeting may be tentative depending on the agenda, and that would be up to this body as well.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, let me chime in. On page 11, there is a calendar for 2026 meetings, and January 13, 2026 meeting may not be there because of no action items. And it's usual for MPOs after the MTP is approved every 5 years, during the time of getting culminating to that, many action items are usually there. And after that, it is usual to have 1 or 2 meetings not there. So just a heads up that January meeting may not be there.
Okay, and then we wanted to provide notice of an administrative adjustment that was processed to the Coordinated Public Transit Human Services Transportation Plan. That is a long title. This is also commonly just referred to as the Coordinated Plan. This is a document that it is one of our federally required documents, and it outlines different ways to coordinate transportation programs for older adults, people with disabilities, and low-income households. The document was last approved in October 2023. However, having received updated federal guidance earlier this year, we did process an administrative adjustment to ensure that the plan aligns with the updated guidance. Since it was just minor edits to a few language, as well as a few updates for clarity, only an administrative adjustment was required, and so no formal action is needed. But that has been updated, and that is available on our public transit webpage. Then, as I'm sure many of you know, the KDOT local consult in the Wichita Metro region was held last week. It was great seeing a lot of familiar faces there. And then we also wanted to share for anyone who could not make it that there is a statewide virtual meeting on October 28th. And if anyone from KDOT has more to add, please feel free to jump in. And then 2 more, and this is on behalf of Kim, who is not here. We just wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped and supported with our 2025 bicycle and pedestrian count. Data were collected at 40 locations. We also were able to deploy the automatic bicycle and pedestrian counters at 9 locations, and staff are reviewing that for accuracy. And we are putting together a final report, and that will be developed and presented at the next meeting. And then finally, from me, an update on safe routes to school. We are very strong in our data collection phase right now. We have a parent and caregiver survey that is live through the end of this month. As of the beginning of the month, we'd already received 2,100 responses. Student travel tally data is being collected in classrooms. And then we also have walk audits that are underway. And these are happening at every school that's participating in this effort. And then WAMPO staff are also attending fall festivals to engage residents and share more about safe routes to school. Here's a quick look at the walk audits that have already been completed. You will see today's date on there. We do have some staff completing some right now. And then we also wanted to share some upcoming ones as well. If anyone is interested, we'd love to have as many people as possible at these walk audits, as many different perspectives. This is generally a small team of school staff, WAMPO staff, and then city, county engineer, elected official, parents, volunteers, who really go and observe the conditions around the school. And so please, if you're interested in any of the upcoming dates or you'd like more information, please let us know. We can provide that for you.
Quick comment, let me chime in one more time, Marky. Staff would like to thank you, your leadership for, this initiative of Safe Roads to School is all because of you. You had advised us in 2023 and 2024 to identify funding to conduct this study. So it is in place. So staff is thankful for your leadership.
How many people do you approximately need for some of the walk audits? I mean, if we were to put something out to the community for volunteers, are we talking small number?
Yes, it can be a small number. At some of the schools, we've had multiple school staff present, at some just 2 or 3. It really depends. It is always wonderful to hear from people who actually live in the area and who can identify things that we may not see during the 15 minutes of arrival or dismissal. So really anyone who is interested is wonderful, but it is not required that it is a huge push for volunteers.
Quick question over here. Sorry. How long do they normally take?
That also kind of depends. We generally do them around arrival or dismissal. So we'll show up and either do the walk audit before or after, and that's just staying in the streets around, seeing if there are any notable issues for both issues and opportunities. And then we typically watch during either the arrival or dismissal, which often goes fairly quick. Dismissal is generally about 10 minutes of a coordinated chaos, but very interested to see. And you can also come to part of it if you need to leave early or join late. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Marky. I appreciate it. We have Peter to update on ITS study. Peter.
Just a quick update on the Regional Intelligent Transportation Systems, or ITS architecture. Just want to keep this on your radar because we intend, hopefully, our next meeting to offer this for TPP consideration for approval. So the ITS architecture is, of course, federally required, and it documents ITS infrastructure and devices so that planning and deployment can occur in an organized and coordinated fashion. We started this past fall in 2024. It is anticipated to be completed this year. At our request, the Federal Highway Administration staff have provided feedback on our draft ITS architecture. And as of today, October 14th, about 10 after 1, we have got word that we satisfactorily addressed their comments. In anticipation of requesting approval on our November 18th meeting, you can find the draft ITS architecture deliverables for your review and consideration on our website. Our next steps include a public comment period that'll open on October 18th, TAC recommendation on October 27th, and again, consideration for TPP approval November 18th.
Thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate it. Mr. Chair, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Marky and Peter and Chad, for all those updates. Next, we have item D, consent agenda. We have updated technical advisory committee, TAC roster. This is on page 18 in your packet. So the changes, I'm sure a lot of you know that Brent Clark, the Valley Center city administrator, is resigning. So left open a position. So the new person would be Joe Dessenberger. He's the deputy city manager for Mays. So that's the only change on this roster. Are any comments, or would somebody like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda? We have a motion and a second by Mayor Benaj to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All right, thank you. Next is item 3, public comment opportunity. This is an open forum to the public. If anybody would like to make any comments on anything on the agenda or off agenda, you have 3 minutes. Any member wanting to make a comment? Or a non-member? Public? Nobody? All right, we will move on. All right, next we have, action items. We have 1 action item. The first one is FFY 2025 through 28, the Transportation Improvement Program, amendment number 6. Peter.
So through one of our routine amendments, we have, of course, Amendment 6, Public Review and Comment Schedule. We had the public comment period from August 29th to September 12th. No comments were received. We had our TAC recommendation on September 22nd, which brings us to today, October 14th, for TPP consideration and vote. You can check out the full details of the amendment summary that is shown on the screen as an attachment linked in your packet and in a link at the bottom of the webpage at the URL shown. There's 4 projects in Amendment 6, or 4 projects in Amendment 6 that have requested changes that require TAC TPP approval. And three of those are requests for new projects and 1 for a project to be modified. And in addition, we'd like to give notice that 3 or 4 projects have requested administrative adjustments that don't require formal TPP approval. This is on packet page 22. You can see a map of the different projects in the amendment there. We'll go through the formal action required projects. So we have City of Bel Air's 45th Street North all over to Woodlawn, had an increase in cost, paid for with local funds. We have City of Wichita's 29th Street North and Broadway intersection. That is a new project. And then we have 2 KDOT projects that are rather the same project, just split in 2. One deals with adding a right lane onto the west lanes of North 119th Street. The other half of that deals with some railroad tracks on the right side, or to the west of the 119th Street West and north of Kansas-Oklahoma Railroad in the city of Bays. These were previously in the TIP. They were removed and then brought back in. But if you notice the very similar names, they are essentially the same project. They just separated the scope between the road improvements versus the railroad portions. In this amendment, we have 3 administrative adjustments and 1 adjustment that requires formal approval. All 4 of these projects have suballocated funding or suballocated funds on them, but no net changes to that amount of funding was made. See the total amount of federal funding on the TIP Amendment 6 projects. And the table that shows the change in federal funding on those projects as well. So that in mind, Amendment 6 meets requirements, had the public comment and review period. It's consistent with the current MTP. It's fiscally constrained and adds about $6.5 million in funding. Which brings us to our action options. Before I go through them, any questions for me on the TIP?
No questions.
Seeing none, the TAC recommendation was to approve the FFY 2025 to 2028 TIP Amendment number 6 as presented. Your options are to approve as presented, not approve, or approve with specific changes.
All right, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the FFY 2025 through 28 TIP Amendment number 6 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the TIP Amendment number 6 as presented. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All right, thank you, Peter. All right, moving along, we have Danielle Gabor from City of Hayesville for the Regional Connection presentation. Show us what's going on in Hayesville.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'll find out.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. As Mayor said, I am Danielle Kapoor, Economic Development Director for the City of Hayesville. I'm excited to share a brief update on Hayesville's economic development initiatives, and in keeping with the theme of regional connections, highlight how we support growth and collaboration across the broader regional community. Today, I'll begin with a brief overview of key demographics for Hayesville, followed by updates on infrastructure, transportation, community connections, and future projects, highlighting how each support and benefits from regional collaboration. Hayesville's population is 11,406, according to the last Kansas Certified Population Report. We anticipate steady growth through 2030 as new housing developments and projects take shape. The city covers about 5 square miles, with roughly 23 square miles in our area of influence. Within the city area, Hayesville maintains 17 miles of hike and bike paths and 13 parks, including Country Lakes Park, which was added since our last presentation. Hayesville offers a small town community feel with the advantages of being closely connected to the Wichita metro area. Hayesville has made steady progress on multi-use pathway projects over the past few years, enhancing local mobility and regional connectivity. In 2023, the city completed a project along the east side of Meridian from Grand to Chelsea. In 2024, a WAMPO supported project extended sidewalks from North Main to 63rd Street and from North Main to Maple, with the city contributing a portion. In 2025, 2 projects were completed concurrently. The Broadway sidewalk, funded in part through KDOT, cost share grant, and the South Main pathway from Hayesville Historic District to Timber Creek Addition. Together, these improvements enhance walkability within Hayesville, creating safer, more connected routes. The D21 drainage project was a major partnership between the city of Hayesville and Sedgwick County, spanning more than a decade, to address longstanding flooding issues in the southwest part of Hayesville and nearby county areas. Completed in early 2024, the project significantly improved stormwater flow and created new opportunities for growth. As shown in the video, oh good, it's playing, the drainage system transitions from county property at 87th Street into city property. Within Hayesville, an oversized detention pond is located in the Wheatland development, which is west of Meridian and north of existing Country Lakes Addition, which has been platted for roughly about 130 single-family homes and about 46 duplexes. Overflow from Wheatland is carried through a concrete flume into interconnected ponds and Country Lakes. Then via stormwater box beneath 79th Street to city property to the south that could potentially support roughly 150 additional homes. At the southern boundary, county improvements carry runoff through the concrete ditch, through farmland to 87th Street, where it continues naturally. The system resolved flooding issues and eliminated the need for stormwater pump station for another nearby property that could support approximately 500 homes. The before and after images along 79th Street clearly show the project's impact. The project is a strong example of how regional collaboration between the city, county, and private landowners can address shared challenges and create lasting benefits. Building on the D21 improvements, Hayesville is moving forward with the Southwest Sanitary Sewer Project, which will extend utilities to the south of the city. This project, in collaboration with PEC, will connect to the main lift station and extend to 81st Street. The slide shows the new sewer lines in purple and potential growth area in red. As you can see, by extending these utilities, the city will be able to support new development on land that was previously limited by utility constraints. Together, the D21 and sanitary sewer projects lay the groundwork for significant residential growth, helping meet regional housing needs and supporting broader growth across the Wichita area. Transportation is a key part of Hayesville's regional connections, partially funded by the 5310 grant through KDOT. In Wichita Transit, the Hayesville Hustle has provided scheduled, inclusive curb-to-curb rides for seniors, individuals with disabilities, and residents of all ages. Since its launch in 2020, the Hustle has provided over 14,000 rides, supporting both the local and regional mobility. The service area covers Hayesville and its area of influence from 55th to 95th and from Hydraulic to Hoover. Scheduled trips are also made to Derby along K-15 from 63rd to Walmart and along Rock Road from south of 63rd to Madison, which includes the medical center for medical care and dialysis. Riders also have connection points to Wichita Transit at 47th and Broadway, allowing broader regional travel. This fall or early 2026, we will add a second van and help meet the increasing residential needs. The slide features a collage of moments from the Hustle, which include a lift and a bike rack. These images highlight the real impact the service has on the community while showing how Hayesville contributes to inclusive regional transportation connections. USD 261 serves students from Hayesville and surrounding communities, including Wichita, playing an important role in regional education. Community connections include a school-based health clinic, student-run businesses, and internship partnerships. In April 2025, an $80 million bond was passed without a mill levy increase, made possible through state support and reinvested interest. It will fund repairs and upgrades across the district, as well as a new career and technical education center at Campus High School, thereby strengthening the ties between education, workforce development, and the broader regional economy. City of Hayesville received a federal CDBG grant awarded through the Kansas Department of Commerce to assist low-income residents with repairs or rehabilitation of $3,000 to $25,000 per home. The award is $300,000 to the city. Hayesville partnered with SCED as the grant administrator, and the weatherization program that they have can be combined for additional improvements to those homeowners. Currently, 10 homes on Corey and Mabel, just south of 63rd, have been awarded, with one more potentially eligible. This program demonstrates how coordinated local and regional efforts can improve housing quality and stability for residents. Current and future businesses play an important role in Hayesville's regional connections. Hayesville's industrial park and other city businesses provide goods and services that support the broader region. The city actively works on business retention and expansion, offering 5 restaurant incentives as well as a business lease matching grant to encourage new investment. Looking ahead, Midwest Health Assisted Living and Memory Care Facility in North Hayesville will continue to expand regional services. These examples show how Hayesville's economic and community connections benefit residents, workers, and neighboring communities alike. Hayesville continues to invest in infrastructure supporting community growth. The Meridian Street Widening Project, currently in design, will expand Meridian to 2 travel lanes with a center turn lane from 79th Street South to West Grand Avenue, as well as a new pedestrian crosswalk at West 2nd Street. Once complete, the project will improve traffic flow, connectivity, reduce congestion, and provide safer access for motorists and pedestrians. The 79th and Meridian Pathway project is also in design, creating a multi-use pathway or multi-use path along South Meridian and West 79th Street. This extension will connect residential neighborhoods to schools, parks, and commercial areas, extending the path on Meridian from West Saddlebrook Street to 79th and on 79th from Meridian to South Cattail Circle. This project will close an existing gap and provide residents with a safe option for biking, walking, and running. Thank you for the opportunity to share Hayesville's economic community updates. Having strong regional connections and support are important for our city and others in the region, and WAMPO is one of those very valued partners. On this slide, I have included the city and business development websites along with my contact information, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
30 questions for Danielle.
Thank you.
Yes, up. Well, thank you, Danielle. It was a great presentation. So a lot of great things happening in Hayesville. All right, next we have our committee and partnership updates. Hey, executive committee. So our next executive committee is on November 6th. B, Kansas Department of Transportation, KDOT, Mike Moriarty.
Mike is unable to join us today. He's at local consult out in Western Kansas, but I don't believe there are any updates that I'm aware of.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have the Wichita Metro Division of KDOT. JB.
I wanted to once again echo Marquis' sentiments and thank everybody that was able to attend a local consult last Wednesday. It was a fantastic opportunity for us to listen and hear what was important to the community. Regarding closures that are taking place this week, October 18th and the 19th, crews will close several ramps at K96 interchange for bridge work, for bridge formwork, overhang bracket removal. As part of the North Junction Gold Project, the closures will include the westbound K96 to southbound I-135 ramp, the northbound hydraulic to southbound K96 on-ramp, and the westbound K96 to hydraulic exit ramp. This work will take place from 6 a.m. on Saturday through Sunday afternoon. Regarding the US 54 Kellogg Bridge Repair Project, the bridge repair project on US 54 between Broadway Street and I-135 remains ongoing. All eastbound and westbound lanes, as well as associated ramps at Washington and Topeka Street, are now reopened. Construction continues beneath the bridge and is anticipated to be completed in late November.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions? Yes.
Hey, JB, because there's so much activity at the North Junction, I'm getting asked, is there a time frame? Do we have are you willing to, not for the minutes, but tell us about when you are we a year out, 2 years out? I don't even know about. Or Gunzelman can answer for you.
I think the schedule that we're showing is like 27, somewhere in there, but we probably have to get a revised update of where we're currently at right now. So it has been a pretty wet year thus far, so.
Yeah, it's just, okay, well, so year and a half, 2 years maybe, whatever.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody that came out. We really appreciate all the support.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, we will move on to the Federal Highway Administration. Javier? Is he online? No. All right, we'll move on to member jurisdiction updates. Any member have any updates they'd like to share? None? All right, we'll move on to other business, and we have none. And next is adjournment. Yeah. Getting out quick, huh?
Oh, those are the third day. I motion. All in favor? Aye.